this is 3.2, Smart and Modern Materials for the IGCSE Cambridge Design and Technology revision list. So today we're going to talk about smart and modern materials, what is biomimicry, and some materials that you would have to remember. And so smart and modern materials are basically just materials that alters independently, depending on some external environmental factors, and as it basically doesn't need other materials to assist it to react, it is known as smart. And it also sometimes are referred to having memories, as they can sort of return to their original shapes with some external conditions like heating or electricity. And sometimes we can also make something smart and modern by basically just modifying their molecular structure using particles known as nanoparticles that are basically just very small, and so we can exploit their structures a little bit. And sometimes we take ideas from the nature and see develop some stuff, such as being able to disguise oneself with camouflage. So that is known as biomimicry. So one of the most glaring examples of smart and modern materials are shape memory alloys, also known as SMA, and it is made of nickel and titanium. So if you remember the word alloy from maybe science, it is basically just one type of metal atom alongside with one more type of atom, metal or non-metal, in a mixture. And the other metal in this case is titanium, and it's basically used in stents in chemistry. So if you have, let's say, a coronary artery blockage, and you got some low density lipoprotein here, then you would get a stent on its original shape. You basically pass some current through it, and it kind of causes the stent to contract and therefore be able to fit inside the coronary artery. The reason why it contracts is because these are these things called d orbitals. So when you pass current through it, the electrons and the localized electrons get a bit more active, and therefore the electrostatic force of attraction gets stronger, and therefore it gets more dense, and therefore it gets more tightly packed. But when it is heated, particles basically just vibrate more and gain more energy, and therefore move a bit further apart, and therefore we heat it past 90 degrees Celsius in the coronary artery to basically inflate it. I mean, another way to do it is using a balloon. So that also works. That is a more common way to do it, because it doesn't carry the risk of some heat injury for the artery, I suppose. And the next is shape memory polymers. It is basically just a general term for a variety of polymer which deforms with heat or electricity, and it is used in valves such as in water pumps. So it deforms because the polymer chains basically gain more energy and kind of like unravels a bit, become a bit less dense, less tightly packed, and therefore, if it's a valve like this for water, and when it expands, it kind of blocks the hole and prevents water flow. Or it could also sort of act as a valve like this, but when it deforms, it can be controlled to be deformed in a certain shape, maybe this, to allow water to flow. Therefore, it can be used as pumps. So the other thing is thermochromic inks. It changes color in response to temperature, and you often see these in boxes for transportation, or there's like a strip to indicate the internal temperature inside, or if it has ever exceeded a certain temperature for the food to spoil or become less good. It is often used in insurances, in food transportation companies, but that's another thing. So we also have photochromic inks, which changes color in response to the intensity of UV light, such as color changing sunglasses. Like if you've seen those glasses that gets a bit more darker to protect the eyes from UV light. These are in response to photochromic inks, so they are containing those. Lenticular sheet is basically a sheet that creates some weird visual effects, causes a bit of light refraction, like water, to cause some objects to appear a bit deeper than they actually are. It is basically just used to create visual effects. Maybe if you have been to some museums, you would see those. And polymorph are basically some small pellets consisting of monomers or less long polymers that you basically fill up in a mold and you heat it and they became a very tough polymer, which means it can withstand blows, if you remember. So it basically just helps to model some tricky shapes like car handles. And the last you get smart grades. It's basically when you apply smart grades between two frictional surfaces, you control their friction that occurs between them. So maybe it is used to dampen volume knobs. I mean, WD-40 is also a type of smart grades, I suppose. Thank you.